Hello, everyone. Hello. We'll give it a second. Always takes a second to load. Welcome to the Historical Hellions live show for Wildland, Wild Love by Connie Mason. This one was very interesting. Very, very interesting. So I'm excited to chat about it. Yeah, I love these covers. I love all her covers. I almost have like her whole collection because I just love her covers so much.
Yeah.
Her covers are really good.
Mm-hmm. Sorry for the live show, like date change and stuff. So thank y'all for being here.
That was my fault.
No, it's not your fault.
Somebody was out there living her best life.
Taylor Swift concert. We support that 100%. We post that below. Do you guys want to start, Christy, by introducing yourself and your rating?
Sure. So I'm Christy. Christy reads a lot, and I had a great time with this one. I ended up giving it almost like 3.5 stars.
Okay, cool. Jessica?
I'm Jessica. I gave it 3.5, maybe 4 stars. I thought it was so much fun. So
we have someone from Australia. So you are going to be our connoisseur. You tell us if this was a good depiction of Australia and its culture. Let us know. I'm so excited you're here. Justin, I saw your Goodreads review. I was 100 pages in. I saw Justin's Goodreads review and I just felt so much despair. I was like, this is not going well for me. So I started reading this last night. I got to like 200 pages and I wouldn't really say I finished the book. I would definitely consider this a DNF. I did skim after the first 200 pages, skip to the ending to see what was happening, what was going on. So yeah, I consider this a DNF because I didn't physically read like each chapter. I don't like to rate books that I DNF because I don't think it's fair, but if I were, I hated this book, y'all. Like, I hated it. So it has to be like 1 star, maybe 2 stars if I'm feeling generous. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was telling Jess and Christy that I was in a very bad mood yesterday. So I will preface that. It could just also have been the mood I was in. But we're gonna just call this a DNF and yeah. So we'll chat about that. All right. Do one of you guys want to give like a quick synopsis of the book?
I mean, it's in Australia. Which feel it like I felt like a Western. Like it could have taken place easily in the US. Especially because also I think there was a review that was like there weren't even any kangaroos in it. And I think they mentioned kangaroos once. They mentioned it once. Mm-hmm. But her dad's dying and they're at her dad's ranch and he's like, I want you to be taken care of. You have to marry Robin. Is that his name? Robin?
Yeah.
They go to like this convict island. A lot of people on this island are convicts and he was like taking care of her sheep ranch or something like that.
Yeah, it was like her father's cousin or like somebody in her family's like sheep farm, and that person died, and then her dad and her were traveling from England to Australia, which was, I mean, it originally started as like a, prison country, so like that's where everybody was sent, and that's how she meets like the hero.
Yes. Oh my gosh, another 2-star. Oh my gosh, I thought it was more fun. So they hate each other. What I just really liked was the fact that like she really hated him, but he was like so madly in love with her and like told her that. And I was like, I appreciate that.
Like he fell hard in the beginning. Immediately. He was so in.
I think the one saving grace for me was the hero. I loved him. I loved how kind he was. I loved his relationship with his best friend. I loved how he was a hard worker and he had goals for himself. And he was really sweet with her, like when the dad passed. I just thought he deserved like so much better. Like literally, I think the reason I hated it so much was because I despised this heroine. Like absolutely hated her from the first page.
See, I didn't think she was that bad. I don't know. Like she was obviously naive to the world and judgmental, but like she even acknowledges that in like one of her inner monologue moments. Like obviously I'm judging these people like harshly. And so I think she does have some growth, like, and comes to realize she was obviously wrong about a lot of people. So she's like a harder character to like.
You know who she reminded me of? I think I was telling Christy this. She reminded me of Shanna the Kathleen E. Widowiss book. Like the story even reminded me a little bit of it because I think he was a convict as well. And I remember thinking like she was judgmental and he deserved better. So it reminded me a lot of that book. And I also did not rate that book very highly. So
I love that one. They're just so fun.
I don't know. Maybe it's like my internal misogyny or something. Because I'm like, I can get over a hero if he doesn't have groveling, but an unlikable heroine is really hard for me to get over. And I mean, maybe that's my fault. I shouldn't be so harsh on the heroines.
I mean, a lot of bad stuff happened to her. I mean, she's brought to this random country. Her dad dies. She's forced to marry this guy. She's almost taken advantage of twice. Almost dies, thinks that her husband is in love with someone else, and thinks her husband slept with someone else, and thinks her husband got someone else pregnant, and it's just like...
Yeah, it's all just piling up.
Yeah, like, I feel bad for her. Like, a lot of bad things happened.
Yeah. So I did mention this also, is I hate when, like, heroines are villainized, when it's a girl that's, like, the villain in the end, although there was kind of, like, multiple parts to the villains in this book, but yeah, I just hate that trope in itself. So the whole Serena plot was a little cheesy, and then I don't feel like she had really any reason to not like Casey. Is this a second in a series? Do we get Casey's story?
I think Casey's is book 1 because Ben gets book 3. I read the author's note.
Okay. I would actually be interested in hearing their story.
Well, and then you get to see more of is it Big John?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was so cute. Him and Lizzie.
Yeah.
And then, wait, you can see more of them and like the other servant, Maud.
Yes. Was it Maud or
what was her name?
But yeah, we get like multiple side little romances.
Yeah, they kind of like started their little romance. She's like, you can see how they end up too. I was like, oh, I might pick up book 3 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I felt this way about this book, I don't think Connie Mason's writing like is bad, because we read another Connie Mason book and I liked that one. I think I gave it maybe 3 or 4 stars. I can't remember.
Was that the Alaska one?
I didn't read it in time for the live show. I think I read it after. But I remember liking it. So I definitely do think I would like to read Casey's story, or Cassie's story, just because they talked about how like they were soulmates and they were made for each other. And I was like, okay, now I want to read more about them.
Well, because
isn't that what the hero was in love with, and like she married his best friend?
Yeah.
So like that sounds so good.
Yeah.
And I think like someone, didn't she say, was that their romance where she's like, yeah, someone told him I was dead, so he thought I was dead until we just like randomly ran into each other in England. And I'm like, that would be really good.
Yeah, the heroine's cousin who like owned the sheep farm originally like tried to separate them because she was married to whatever that guy's name was. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't remember there being any poor representation. I skimmed some of it, but I don't remember that at all.
I don't think there was like blatantly, like it could have been really bad, I feel like, just because of the time frame it was written in, but I didn't notice anything myself, but then I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They helped cure Big John, and like other characters were like derogatory towards them, and she got really defensive. So they like seemed really respectful of their culture.
And I feel like he also felt respectful or grateful for the island, even though he was technically brought there because he was a convict. He felt like he started to love like the island and its nature. So I think that was good. As far as like problematic elements, I don't really feel like this book had any compared to some other historicals we read. Like it didn't have any consent issues. It didn't really have any.
Well, like the thing with the consent was she was saying no a lot, but like it was made super clear she was liking everything he did. So while technically he did like force her when she said no.
He would like kiss her when she would like get away from me, but she like hated how much she wanted him through it. So it was kind of like that setup. Yeah.
So, but that was good because sometimes we read historicals and there's like problematic elements to it. So,
he never like in the end forcefully did anything she did not agree with.
Let's see. I mean, I hated this book, but I'm just saying that's not like one of the things that was in it.
You have to be ready for like a bonkers time and like, just go with the ride. Like it's very over the top dramatic, but like in an entertaining way.
At one point thought the dad wasn't going to die after all, and then the demise of the villain was not expected.
I mean, there were multiple villains, yes. And so, yeah.
Yeah, they were very like mustache twirly villains for sure.
And there were things that...
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say there were things that were a little convenient. You were like, would you really like run into this person in the middle of the wilderness?
Right.
Yeah.
True. With how big it is and easy it is to get lost. That's true. There were a lot of things I had to like end up Googling because I didn't know about like any convict islands. And then whatever they were pulling with the horse, they weren't horses, they were like bulls almost. I just kept Googling stuff and like looking at pictures. I ended up getting in like a deep dive of like how the carriages looked. I don't know why.
You were learning.
Maybe because I wasn't invested with the story that I was like looking at all these side facts.
Looking for an excuse to go look things up.
So I ended up looking like lots of pictures of Australia and like the way these carriages looked.
I love it.
But it felt very Western because like they were settling new towns and like traveling in their wagons and like going through mountains. Like literally could have been
the West.
Out West, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely tell that this author is a history buff because pretty much all of her books have like a little author's note about the history she researched, or they're just set in these really unique settings that you don't usually see in historical romances.
Well, I think when we read the other one for her, like I think in her author's note or something, like it talked about how she's lived like in Europe and Asia, like she's like a world traveler before she settled down, like because I think she started writing when she was older. I think it was her.
Somebody asked
it does.
Exactly it took place.
It says
New South Wales.
Yeah, New South Wales, yeah.
And I feel like they talked about it being close to Sydney, didn't they?
Yeah, I was gonna say they talked about traveling to Sydney.
Yeah. I don't know where that is in the context.
Because he had to go get like his pardon and stuff.
Yeah.
You tried reading it but got sidetracked by the Mindfuck series? Yeah. I don't blame you. I wouldn't have read this if it wasn't for our book club. I am so sorry.
I need to read more Connie Mason. I think they're just the way she writes though, like the plot, even though I was like, wow, not a lot's happening like outside of the romance, but I felt like it moved fast. Like I wasn't bored.
Yeah, I don't know if my issue was more so with her writing. It was just the heroine. I literally despise this heroine. I would have to say she's probably like my least favorite heroine I've ever read about. She was just so judgmental from the very beginning, and I was like, the hero is so sweet.
Even more than Judith's heroines.
My issue with Judith is not her heroines; it's usually her heroes. So
interesting.
I mean, but I really liked how she didn't say "I love you" until the end.
I don't like.
Yeah, she was the one fighting it, where he was like all in immediately.
Yeah.
I'm like a words of affirmation girly. I needed both of them to be on the same page. Like, nope.
Not all the crap that he put her through. Like, he legitimately thought he slept with Serena. He's like, well, maybe I did. And I'm like,
his betrothed or whatever. They were supposed to get married, him and Serena.
Yeah.
So wait, he thought, okay, you have to remind me because remember I did skim. He thought that he slept with Serena while they were together or before she came to the island?
So after they were already married.
After they were already married, he was in that new town for like months, got wasted, and Serena made it look like they slept together. And he thought about it. He was like, it'd be so easy to just
because he got divorce papers. Like he heard his wife wanted to divorce him and got divorce papers sent to the house that Serena like conveniently shows him and opens and is like, look, she wants to leave you. So he's already like feeling like crap and was like, maybe I should just do this. But like he passes out and nothing happens. And then the next morning, Serena's like, no, we totally did. The wife shows up, like everybody's clothes are off. And so they just like assume it happened. And Serena's like, yeah, it totally happened.
Serena goes and sleeps with another guy for like a month straight to get pregnant to say that it's Robin's.
Why does that remind me of what series is it by Sierra Simone?
It's so good.
The Camelot series.
Oh, American Queen and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of reminded me of that. But anyways, I mean, maybe he should have divorced her. I wouldn't have been mad. So I just didn't like this heroine. I would read another Connie Mason, yes. The other one we read, I did like. So
would it have bothered you though if like it was reversed?
Probably, yeah.
The hero acted that way, not the heroine.
No, probably, yeah. I don't like jerk heroes either. I just think, yeah, it probably would have still bothered me. I do definitely hate that it's a villainous heroine. Like, I always hate when it's villainous heroines. That one I just don't like. Like, the whole plot with Serena, the jealous ex, I never like that plot.
Normally I don't, but I
It was just entertaining for this one. Like, because I guess we're in on the know, like knowing she's trying to do this and knowing she's getting pregnant with someone else's kid. Like, it was just another layer to the plot at the end.
And her parents are dead. So it's like, you kind of feel, because her parents died, like, going to that town. They just fell off the cliff. And you're like, well, that kind of sucks for her. Sorry.
Super dramatic.
Really dramatic. And she's only 19, though.
Yeah. Serena's super young.
Yeah.
I feel like that drama is very early historicals that were written in like the 80s and 90s. I feel like the newer historicals just read more contemporary, which I don't love. Like, I do love the drama. That is my favorite thing about wild, bonkers historic romances. And the only other author that, like, I can say that's more newer, she's not new, she's been writing for a while too, is like Lorraine Heath. Her plot twists are always crazy. But I feel like the recent historicals that are coming out are just more contemporary.
Yeah.
Even hers are too, Lorraine's.
Yeah. But
she does compared to what she used to write,
Yeah, compared to, And I was going to say, I feel like soap operas were super popular back then, so maybe that's why historicals are like that too.
Maybe. And right now, contemporaries and like discrete covers and like all that is what's popular. So that's interesting. Okay, what did you guys think of all the villains and the endings and the plot twists?
What were some of the plot twists?
Well, I didn't finish the whole thing.
I feel like there were only plot twists for like them. We were in the know for everything, so nothing was like super shocking. Which I feel like it would have been obvious anyways. Like, you knew he wouldn't have slept with Serena, and you knew Serena was like sleeping with other people. So, and then like Ben was like, "Oh yeah, even I've slept with Serena," and he's like, "What?" Like, before. So I thought that was funny. It was like interesting how Serena was able to keep such a clean reputation, I guess, while sleeping around a lot.
Being wild, Well, I like how they like through Big John telling Robin about like who Serena was with. Like, they go and find that guy and they're like, "Hey, you guys are getting married like tonight." And the guy's like, "This is the best day ever." And Serena's like, "Why are you telling them like we slept together?" Like, it was so over the top. Yeah. But then he like gets bossy with her and she's like, "Ooh, like, who is this?"
It was funny. I mean, it did feel very soap opera-y. And like, I do normally don't like, because there was one point where not Serena, the heroine, Kate, what was her name?
Kate,
she just like blindly runs away into the wilderness alone, and I'm like, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, I hate it when that happens. That happened in the fantasy that we read for Ravished by Romance. She just like tries to run away and always gets like kidnapped or like hurt, and I'm like, let's like pause and like logistically think this through. Like, how are you gonna make a 4-day trip through the mountains by yourself?
And the first time they meet, he even warns her, saying like, we don't want to be caught like in these woods at this time because, you know, there's like bandits and stuff like that. Like, he tells her that in the very beginning of the book.
Now, there are multiple times where she is caught pretty much alone and attacked. So
I can be harsh on heroes too, and I try not to be too harsh on heroines. It depends on the groveling. It depends on the groveling for the hero. If it's like how awful he can be, all depends on the groveling. If he grovels enough. 98% of the time. I mean, she did have some turning point, like a little bit.
I mean, she like came to appreciate Big John, and he's like a real big convict. Like, he used to be a bushranger. What are they called?
Yeah, I think that was it, right?
I don't know. He was like a vigilante, whatever. Like, he would do like steal from people and stuff.
I mean, to be fair, if I'm putting myself in that time period, she is relatively upper class, surrounded by people of wealth. Like, think about classism and elitism and racism during that time. That's what she's surrounded by, and that's what she's taught. So I guess it does make sense that that's how she acts when she first gets there, but it still bothered me. But I suppose, like, if you think of it during the time period, that's probably how the majority of the upper class felt.
Yeah.
Well, and then she's going to a place she's never known, and
right. I can't. Did they ever say why they have that farm? Like, how they
sheep farm?
Yeah.
Yeah, her father's cousin, who was the the lady who passed away, who like held the secret from that Casey and that other couple, like she had that sheep farm.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it ever said why she was in Australia, but she had it and then died. And then her father was like, "Ooh, that's a good opportunity. Like we should go down there." And then he gets sick on the ship ride down.
Got it. Repetition, the conflict. Yeah.
I can see
Fair
that,
enough, Justin.
Yeah.
I heard me and Justin, we had the same thoughts on the book. I read your Goodreads review. We have the same thoughts.
Yeah, Justin, I was telling Samantha and Jess that I had read your review, so I was expecting like the worst. So then I started at like ground zero and was able to be entertained because I was expecting like terribleness. I was expecting nothing.
I was the opposite. I read it when I was like 100, 200 pages in, and I felt despair. I was like, this is not getting any better. I'm going to have to stick through this.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Lots of adventure. They're constantly like traveling back and forth in between places. Lots of jealousy on both their parts, which was funny.
Yeah, I did. I
had a good time with it. The city,
the setting,
or the setting. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the setting, and like I said, I went through like a whole deep dive on Australia and the freaking cattle. I was like, oh my god, why am I searching this up right now? Yeah.
I was laughing at those.
I was down in the dumps reading this last night on Instagram.
I don't know how many historicals though there are in Australia, so
I can't think of many. I think Kira Andrews is set in Australia, but I don't think it's a historical.
Yeah. Well, I know Teresa Medeiros has one, like a heroine wakes up stranded there, and it's kind of Sleeping Beauty fairy tale retelling. Yeah.
I kind of want to read that. I like Teresa Medeiros.
Yeah, me too. I have it. Let me see which one it is.
I'm going to look up right now. Historical set in Australia.
I always spell her name wrong. Is there not an H in it?
No, there's not.
Okay.
I thought it was Thief in the Heart, maybe, or whatever that one's called.
It's just really hard to find a historical that doesn't take place in England, Scotland, or the US.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's a different setting, I'm all over it. Once an Angel by Teresa Medeiros.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Is set.
Her covers look the same.
They do. Even though they're not.
Brandywine has one set in Australia too.
Oh, I guess the Teresa Medeiros is actually New Zealand, but it's close to Australia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would definitely. Oh my gosh, the first book in this series is so pretty. Do I have that one?
Which one? Oh, this one, the Connie Mason.
Yeah, Bold Land, Bold Love.
Yeah, that one's really pretty.
Maybe I don't have that.
Ooh. I don't think I have that. Oh, there's a kangaroo in the background of that one too.
Okay, but listen, we gotta stop picking things on covers because we picked a bathtub one. There was like not a bathtub in sight. There was one measly bathtub.
That's true.
And it happened like 65% into the book.
And then we picked kangaroos. Not a kangaroo in sight.
There was one.
Bamboozled by these covers.
There was one kangaroo.
Okay, I knew she had one or they had one. I'm not sure. Sorry. But I couldn't remember if it was a historical or not. So Wicked My Desire by Stephanie Blake, set in Melbourne. That's cool. Yeah, anything that is set outside of like America and England, I love it.
Yeah. Boy, I'm nervous. I need to order that book. I forget. But I need them like whenever they're not set in like England during like Victorian time, I need them to be super action packed because that's my problem with Westerns is a lot of time they just like sit around and do nothing. And I'm like, because there's nothing to do in the West. Like you just like sit there. So at least they were like traveling and stuff. So I liked that.
Yeah, that's true because in England you have the balls and the nobility.
Yeah. And they're like going from estate to estate normally. So like sometimes they'll go to their estate in Scotland or something like that. So
Yeah, and it's things seem just more scandalous too in England, like all of the different rules. I feel like you don't get that in American. Honestly, I'm trying to think of romances set outside of England that I really love, despite like other than Beverly Jenkins. I'm trying to think. No, I was
No,
We had a good time with it.
Minority.
Yeah.
I got to like 200 and then I skimmed. So
That's when it got good. I was like, give me all the drama.
Yeah.
I was done. Not my vibe at all. I just could not get down with the heroine. I didn't like them together. Joanna Shupe. Oh, I do love Joanna Shupe. You right.
I read Lions and Lace and I loved it. So
That one was so good.
yeah, by Megan McKinney, the one that Joanna Shupe loves.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Gilded Age as well.
Yeah.
All right.
You get this sort of like what I love about Gilded Age is it kind of feels like mafia historical because like they just like run the town with their money and it's really good.
That's so true. That is so true. This one is the Kieran Andrews. I do want to read that one.
Oh, okay.
Is Yours Until Dawn the one we read that we really liked?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Both of those are amazing, Monica. So
I need to read more Teresa Medeiros.
So do I, because the ones that I've read I loved, and I know there's one that Lisa like loved.
Yes, I put that on my TBR too because of her.
Yeah,
which honestly I want to read all of hers because they're all amazing that I've read.
Yeah, I feel like Teresa Medeiros, Amanda Quick, and Julie Garwood. I need to read more of their books because I have really liked the ones we read by them.
There's a pirate Julie Garwood I really want to read. This is the
kid. I haven't read nearly enough pirate romances.
Yeah. When did we read Yours Until Dawn?
Last year.
Was it really
last year? Oh yeah, I think it was.
I think it was last year because I don't remember reading it this year.
Yeah, because it's on my like favorites of last year, so it had to have been then.
Oh, we read A Whisper of Roses together.
Oh yeah,
but isn't Yours Until Dawn the one where he's blind?
Yeah, it's like the Beauty and the Beast. Okay. Yeah.
Why did we read that? What was that for?
I thought it was for this.
No.
Not
that I can see.
Oh, I think somebody recommended it when we had read, or when you guys had read the other Teresa Medeiros, and this one was recommended as like her top, like best book, fan loved, and so then didn't you guys pick it for historical romance readathon?
Charlotte said, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you when there's going to be another one of those.
Well, they just announced their
month-long
thing, which Lisa had told me about. She's like, it's like a game. We're teams, and I was like, oh my gosh.
But it's just romance, right? It's not just historical.
I think it is just historical.
It's just historical, and they have like different points that you can get, and it's a month-long readathon. Crystal's in it, Tiffany's in it, Lisa's in it. A lot of them,
like this whole big game.
Interesting. Yeah, it just said like romance, whatever it said. So then I was like, oh, it must not be like it's broader, but I didn't look at the details.
No, it is historical romance, and they're broken up into different teams.
I've seen a lot of people doing those team, like they did like a pirate mermaid one or whatever recently. Yeah, I saw people doing that too. Yeah.
Well, I will chat with
Lisa and Lacey.
The two people I hate most in this world.
Yeah, exactly. So. That's going to be hard to get you guys in the same chat.
Bring back the Holy Trinity, please. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I mean, this does, like, every time we read one of these, it puts me in the mood for historicals, and I never read more. Because then I'll, like, listen to an audio of a new one, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. I've been in such a historic romance mood. I think it's because Rachel did that Summer of Tessa-Dare read-along that we're doing. And we listened to, like, 10 of her audios, and then I was listening to Shayna Galing's audios, and I really liked those. So yeah, I've been in such a historical mood. Monica asked for some historicals that you can get on audio. I know that Avery was recently talking about, like, on Audible, Scarlett Scott's are for free.
Hers are on Hoopla.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of her whole series is on Hoopla, and then a ton of them are free, like the first in a series on Audible, and her books are amazing. Definitely recommend. Which I think Monica's already read one of those. Oh, sorry.
I read
Samantha.
Run Scarlet Scott. No, I read Run Scarlet Scott and I did like it. But I love Shanna Galen's audios too. Her Survivor series is like 12 books. And all of the audios were available in my library. And I loved them. So
yeah, there's a ton on Hoopla and Libby. That's where I get most of my historicals, like audio ones, I mean.
Yeah, me too.
It just depends, yeah.
Does your Hoopla ever glitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
It logged me out and won't let me log back in.
Oh no.
It's fine. I'll look at it later.
Medieval.
I like there's some good ones.
Yeah,
well,
just blinking.
Julie Garwood's.
This one's medieval, isn't it?
It is?
Yeah. The windswept plains of medieval England.
Ooh.
Perfect. Just perfect segue.
And she's a daughter of Scottish nobility.
Oh, perfect.
That sounds
good. Fires of Winter by Rebecca Gellis.
It's our next month's pick. Oh my god, that font is so small.
Oh,
it is 480 pages. I'm gonna have to start this before the day before the live.
Christy, you were gonna recommend a Julie Garwood? Is that what you said?
Oh yeah, I would say Julie Garwood's like her medievals, like The Secret. I feel like that's a classic at this point.
And Ransom, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicola Davidson has a poly medieval romance. That one's pretty fun. Two girls.
Are hers in audio?
They are. They're like 4-hour audiobooks because they're technically novellas. They're like less than 200 pages.
Read one by her.
I thought you read the one where it's like BDSM club, the 3 guys.
Yes. Is that what are those called? Oh yeah, Devil Submission, Surrender to Sin, Seduction of Viscount Vice. Yeah.
Like Nicola Davidson?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. Those are good.
Yeah. But she does have a medieval one that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do need to read Elisa Braden.
She's really good. She's kind of like a mix of Lisa Kleypas and Julia Quinn.
Ooh, that's a good
She's really good. I've read all of hers and love them.
I have read one Center, but I've never read one by her.
She has those pretty like all like pink or like turquoise covers, right? Like
There's some.
But we do need to pick our next 3 books. It's at that time.
So. Yes. So let us know, guys. What should we read?
And we have Fires of Winter, Skye O'Malley, and our Phantom of the Opera one.
I'm excited for that one.
I don't know why. I kind of want to read. No, I don't think we'll be able to find a Christmas one for Christmas. Published before 2000.
That could be fun.
I have a few, but I don't. So like the problem is, especially for this one, people had a hard time getting their hands on it.
Yeah, because this one didn't even have an ebook, right?
No, or an audio. Yeah,
only read it physically. I'll have to look. I had a bunch of
So let us know what you guys want us to read, either a setting, trope, or author.
There's that one. Where is it? Where on the back cover she's like wrapped in all that wool and fur, not wool, but like that fur coat in the snow.
Oh, and she's laying down?
Like number 2 in the series.
Yeah, is that Sabrina Jeffries?
Is it Sabrina Jeffries?
I think so. She's like laying down.
She has one, but I don't know if it's before 2000.
Yeah, true.
I would also love to read another Beverly Jenkins, but we've read 2 by her.
Yeah.
So maybe a new author. Although Beverly Jenkins is like an easy 5-star for sure.
Yeah.
What did we read? Vivid and
we read Indigo as well, like one of our first ones. No, Night
Song.
Night
Song. We read Indigo.
Like 3 years ago. We started our book club.
No, it was Night Song and Vivid
that
we read. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but my dad read Indigo, guys.
I loved that.
My dad read Indigo. Yeah, and he liked it.
We started our book club. Do you know when we started our book club? We announced it in December 2020.
Shut up.
We're on year 2.5 right now.
I love it. Like I've been on BookTube that long. That is crazy.
That is very
that Sabrina Jeffries was 2002. that after the abduction, but it is very Christmassy.
Kathleen Woodwest. We read one. We read Shanna.
I had so much fun reading that book, so
I despised it. But should we just go for it and read The Wolf and the Dove? Let us know, guys, if you want us to take one for the team and read.
Well, aren't you going to be on audio?
Coming to audio? Yeah.
Is that they pushed them all back, right?
Because they were supposed to be last summer,
but then I thought they were like this summer or like September.
Let me see.
Oh, they said they're out already. Monica says they're out already.
Oh, they came out.
Oh, really?
Should we read a Kathleen E. Woodwest?
This says July 11th. Yeah.
Oh,
so, yeah, mine say pre-order. Yeah.
I will say it's like over 20-hour audiobooks, so I will not be listening to those. But
I think got Rosalind Landor though. That's cool.
Does Loretta Chase have one that's published before the year 2000?
I thought we've done a Loretta Chase.
We did a Lorraine Heath.
Didn't we? Is it Flowers from Loretta Chase?
No, that's
no,
that's Laura Kinsale.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have done Loretta Chase, but I don't know if hers are that old.
I don't know. Let's look, guys.
What is her popular one?
Lord of Scoundrels.
I didn't like that. That was when I was first reading.
Oh, that one's so good. That was 95.
Oh.
So I guess she does have some older ones. And that's like the third in a series, so she was writing before that.
Oh, well, Mr. Impossible is really good.
That one's fun. She also has like Miss Wonderful. I think it's in the same series. Oh, that one's a little later. But there's like really older authors like, well, you just saw like Rebecca Brandywine or Kathleen Sutcliffe. Like,
we haven't read a Rebecca Brandywine.
And she has amazing step backs.
Maybe we'll read a Rebecca Brandywine because I have a lot of her books.
Hers are really pretty. Like, I think she was on that Australia list. She has one in Australia. She has some, I think a lot of hers are medieval, maybe.
Okay. I'll put Rebecca Brandywine for sure. We've read Joanna Lindsay. We read a book from her Mallory series, which I loved. That's my favorite.
That one was so good.
Yeah. We'll read another one.
We could read a Western Joanna Lindsay. Okay, I'll put Joanna Lindsay down because we've only read one by her. Only read one.
We could read one of her. I guess it wouldn't count. One of her like futuristic ones.
That one looks so fun.
I think that would count. I think
that cover is awesome.
It's not historical, but there's like robots in them. Yay!
That makes us so happy. Yes, Monica, we'll try to be better. It's hard because so many of these are published before the year 2000. They just don't have ebooks or audiobooks, but we'll try our best. Christy, you wanna pick a book for us?
Oh my!
I do
the pressure.
Sorry.
What was that, Jess?
Shelley Thacker, I really like. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, hers are pretty.
Available her stuff is, but
have you read any of hers?
Yeah, I read one that I read Silver and Sapphires and loved it.
Oh, that's right. It's on my TBR because of you.
Yeah,
I still need to get to it.
It was like very adventurous.
Let me see.
No, I've never read a Nicole Jordan. I'll put her down because I do have some of her books. Monica, do not play me. We are not reading another Truth of God. Do not play me. Anyways, I've read like her whole backlist anyways, so there's nothing left. Karen Hawkins?
Isn't she newer? Yeah. Well, no, I guess she's been writing for a long time.
She has her like
I have seen some of her older ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Have we read Patricia Gaffney?
No.
Mm-mm. There's a lot of really old ones I want to read, but I feel like they're like problematic and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a discussion all on its own too.
Because one of those Patricia Gaffney, isn't that like a super dark romance one?
Oh, which one is that? The one that
is that To Have and to Hold, maybe?
Yes.
Yes. I know there was like some TikTok discussions about it, right?
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
like
know.
a precursor to dark romance.
Yeah. Well, so then I'm like, is how like dark is it?
Right.
I feel like we've read a Catherine Cutler book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did
Classic.
you guys?
Bodice Ripper. I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did.
I'm looking now. I thought we did.
I've read one of hers before, but it wasn't for.
Oh, did we not? I have a bunch of hers.
I thought it was the one with that step back where like he's throwing the child over his shoulder. No, we
What?
haven't.
Oh, with the duck or the goose chasing him?
There's one where he's literally like throwing her over. No, not the child. Her over his.
Yeah.
And there's a child like carrying like a luggage that breaks open. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, that one's. I think I have it around here somewhere too.
Yes, Christy's going to pick one of our next ones. Putting the pressure on her. Catherine Cutler.
Or like Marsha Canham. Have you guys read her?
Yes.
Oh wait, yeah, that was Across the Moonlit Sea, right?
Yes.
Okay. What about Mary Jo Putney? Did you guys read one of hers too?
Yeah, we just did. Yeah. We read Thunder and Roses.
Oh, that's right.
Is Jane Feather one that writes in 2000s? Or 90s? Ugh. It's called The Scottish Bride, and he's like throwing her over his shoulder.
And the little geese chasing.
And there's just these little geese and like little kids just trying to carry it. I mean, if we're going off our theme of picking random things in books, it would be the little geese to read this one. I love it.
What's that one called? The Scottish Bride?
The Scottish Bride. It was published. Ooh, I don't know. Mine has some pages ripped out. I don't know when it was published. 2001. What a bummer.
I do have a bunch of Cheryl Hanky.
Yeah.
Oh, so do I. Like a lot, ironically enough.
Oh, but I think she does write a lot of Native American ones.
What about Rexanne Becknell? She has a lot of medieval ones. Do you guys have a lot of her stuff?
Rexanne?
Yeah.
I only have the one with the pirate ship on the step back.
Oh, someone said, let's find Jessica something with pirates.
Hey.
I have a Heart of the Storm.
Okay, yeah. That one takes place, I think, somewhere else. The lush, misty island of Madeira.
And then they're captured by a pirate captain.
We haven't read any gothic historical.
I think popular ones, though, are like really hard to find.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Catherine Coulter one I wouldn't recommend. I read that one, and it's not good.
I just bought one, actually.
Who is... I feel like there's an author that's like... what is it? Marilyn Harris or something? Let me grab them.
I just bought this one. This is by Judith Conklin, Mistress of the Moors. And it's like this gothic historical.
That would be fun.
It was published in 1991.
Ooh. Yeah. I feel like the Eden one is super hard to find.
These are the backs.
Ooh, that's so pretty. I love when they do the red on the sides.
Blooding Sorrow, I feel like, is popular.
What is?
Blooding Sorrow. This one.
Oh, okay. Who's that by?
Marilyn Harris. 1976.
Whoa.
That is, I think, the oldest we've read.
I don't think we've read anything that old.
No. I don't know when the Kathleen E. Widowist came out. Maybe the 80s?
Shanna, I think, was a little later.
Okay.
Let me look.
Now I kind of want to read that one just because of how old it is.
I don't know if it's hard to find, though.
Yeah, that would be the hard thing with ones that old.
I mean, we do have them pretty well in advance.
That's true. Oh, yeah, and this is for, what, the end of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this one has 3 reviews on Goodreads. 3.
This is on KU.
Oh, interesting.
But I don't know. Okay, yeah. So this one I think is going to be the hard one to find. Paperbacks are $15 and $18. This one's on KU. And this one's 1977.
Oh, that one sounds good.
Good night, Monica.
Sounds really
I vote for that one. The Marilyn Harris one. That sounds really good. I'm like reading the synopsis. Well, it's going to be like messy and wild, but it sounds good. Yeah, and dark.
All right, cool. We have 1 out of 3 picked.
Are we doing this for October?
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a bunch of Laurie McBain ones.
I don't, but I can get them.
I have a lot of hers too, I think.
I love how we completely like went away from the conversation of this book.
I mean, there wasn't a lot to it.
Yeah. I mean, I could still talk about it. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
That is so funny to me. Okay, so
are we doing a Kathleen book?
Kathleen E. Widowist?
Yeah, since her stuff will be on audio.
We could just read the first quote unquote historical romance.
Was it The Flame and the Flower, though, or The Wolf and the Dove?
I can't remember.
I feel like it was The Wolf and the Dove, but I don't know.
I have them right here. Let's see.
The names are so similar. I get them confused with hers.
Right.
The Flame and the Flower and The Wolf and the Dove. Okay. I love this one of The Wolf and the Dove.
Oh, yeah. The Wolf and the Dove is her second one, so it must be the other one.
Yeah.
The Flame and the Flower must be the first.
This one was published in 1974. And then this one was published in 1972.
Okay.
Yeah. This one I know has consent issues, though, but I mean, we can do it for science and history.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think people say go to that one with like historical fiction mindset and like not for the romance.
But people like market this like as the first romance, the first historical romance.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should at some point read it.
Have it under your belt.
Yeah. I think even Beverly Jenkins mentioned like reading this one and like being inspired by that whole suite of historical romance writers. So maybe we will read this one.
Do it.
Does it take place?
Yeah. Because The Wolf and the Dove is medieval, but The Flame and the Flower? Is that the one with the 20-hour audiobook? Or it probably is just as long.
I mean, they're all long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the writing is absolutely tiny. So tiny. And it's like 500 pages.
Well, do we know if any of hers were edited?
The problematic elements?
Yeah.
I wonder if they did that with the audios.
I don't know.
This one is set, Flame and the Flower is set at sea, and they go from England to the US.
All right, guys. Maybe this is going to be it.
15 hours.
Lisa gave it 2 stars.
I mean, I kind of just want to see.
Is this the first time they've been on audio or they redid the audio?
I think the first time.
Okay. I mean, because I have an old copy, but I don't always love reading old copies.
Right.
With that tiny font. So I don't know if I got like the new copy, if it would be any different.
She has a lot of them that are like trade size.
Yes.
You can find them.
Well, so does Bertrand Small.
Yeah. I have a couple of Kathleen Woodward that's in like a trade paperback. So
yeah. I'm so excited for Sky O'Malley. I feel like it's gonna be such a fun time.
I know.
It's gonna be an adventure.
I would like to read another Laura Kinsale. Let me see when this was published. Because, like, look at this cover, guys. How gorgeous is
it?
That's pretty.
But I don't know when it's published.
89.
Maybe we'll read another Laura Kinsale. Because I really liked Flowers from the Storm.
I feel like not a lot of like old schools were like your typical Victorian out in society, like England romances that we have today.
Right.
Yeah. You're right.
Well, because Regency setting didn't really become a thing until later 90s, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't
know.
This
was like on a ship.
They're on a ship in that one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right, we have some options. What are you guys reading right now as we close this out?
I'm finishing 2 books right now. So I'm finishing the last book for, what is it? Laura Pavlov's like Honey Mountain series. I'm doing the audios of those, and then, which is like Small Town. And then I'm finishing Citadel by Claire Kent, which is the newest one in her post-apocalyptic series that I love, which was like a surprise drop last week.
Oh, that's fun. My library didn't have the Laura Pavlov on audio, and I was sad.
I got them during the Audible sale.
They were like $3 each.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll use an Audible credit because I did want to read some of her books.
I would say use it for the new ones, personally.
Jessica, what are you reading?
Well, I just finished this like 20 minutes before the live show. I did finish Rule by Cassandra Robbins this morning. I really liked it.
That was fun.
It was so fun. Yeah.
That comes out this week, right?
The audio does. Yeah, the audio.
I need to do my post for it.
Yeah. The ebook's been out for a couple weeks now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you read the first one, Power?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I liked it.
Yeah.
They're just like fun. So.
Yeah.
Cinderella and the Duke and When a Scot. I need to read When a Scot Ties the Knot. Thank you for reminding me.
That one's good.
That one's so good.
Yeah. We're reading it for the Tessadir read along. I just started I think it's called Good as Gold by Serena Bowen. It's her Friends to Lovers one, her new one. Which is interesting because I've only read her books or male books, so I'm excited. I love Friends to Lovers, and it's also Small Town, so that
one was good.
Have you read Rachel Reed?
The hockey romance one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She has a new like holiday romance coming out.
Oh, I didn't know. I've only read Heated Rivalry because
I think it's on NetGalley, right?
Yeah, I got it. I requested it. I was like, oh my god, this looks so good. So
it's too, right?
Yeah.
And Christmassy. Yeah, it sounds cute.
That's so fun. But yeah, I was so excited to see Serena Bowen at Book Bonanza, so I started her new Kindle Limited one. But yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Our next live show will be on Jessica's channel. We don't know what date yet. We'll put it on our Instagram. We're reading Fires of Winter by Roberta Gillis. So yeah, thank you for joining us and helping us pick our next reads.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.